Hello, this is Idodmg and welcome back to the channel. In this Magic Legends video, I want to talk to you about the class systems and how they work. Classes are a little bit more unique in Magic Legends. You gotta remember, this is an MMO action RPG that is based off the card game Magic the Gathering. I did used to play the card game back in middle school. It's been a while since I've played a round of Magic the Gathering, but I have an idea of how it all works. But the classes in this game are a little bit different than you would expect in, say, Diablo, where you'd go and just pick a sorcerer or a monk or a barbarian or whatever it is. In Magic Legends, you have 5 different classes, and they're each based off of a different magic type and color. Not only that, but each class also has 4 different attacks or abilities tied to them. They have your primary attack, secondary attack, utility power, and then your spark power. The 4th ability, the spark power, think of that as the class's ultimate ability. And then your utility power, I'm assuming, is going to have a longer cooldown, but does a significant something in battle to help you out. And then your primary and secondary skills, I'm going to assume one's a generator and one's a spender. Could be wrong, totally speculating on that. But yeah, each class has the 4 different powers. Not only that, but where classes get really, really interesting in Magic Legends is you have the 5 classes, but while you're playing the game, you're collecting these cards. You're going to be collecting artifacts as well. You can switch to whatever character you want on the fly once you've unlocked all of them. So keep in mind, the very first class that you start to play as is the one that you're going to use for the first bit of the game. And as you progress, you will unlock the other classes. So you're not just tied into that one class. It's not like you need to, okay, I'm going to play a Sanctifier. And well, now I think I'm going to switch over to my Mind Mage. And now I need to restart and build up everything. It doesn't work that way. You keep the cards and artifacts that you've collected across all of your characters. I absolutely love this system because that way you can go in and swap to whatever character or planeswalker you want to help you out with the specific situation you're in. Each class also has a level cap of 30. While you're leveling up, you'll unlock more skills and abilities and become stronger as you would expect with an RPG. Now let's talk a little bit about each of the 5 classes. I want to do just a very quick overview of each class. I don't want to do an in-depth thing here. Mainly for me, I'm being a little bit selfish. I still want to have something to explore when I jump into the game instead of just knowing all of it now without even playing, okay? First up, we have the white magic. This is called the Sanctifier. I think of this class as your typical healer archetype. You have different long-range damage-dealing abilities as well as healing powers. I'm hopeful that in some of the higher-end content and some of the end-game content that there will be a need for an actual healer to keep the group alive. I think that since they're trying to do a little bit of an MMO light type of game, the Holy Trinity would be something I'd really like to see kind of leaned into. But I know you're going to be allowed to solo instances as well, so it'd be really cool if they had a way to balance the dungeons of a solo dungeon versus a group dungeon. Maybe the group dungeon had more mechanics that you had to play into that Holy Trinity, whereas the solo dungeon, they scaled back some of those mechanics to kind of cater to that solo gameplay style. A little bit off topic there, and I'm not even sorry. The next class I want to talk about is the blue magic called the Mind Mage. This one looks really sweet to me. This is one of the 3 that's on my maybe list. This one has a tornado that comes in and controls all the monsters and sucks them in. It looks freaking sweet. Like I'm right now I'm thinking about playing that. I don't know. I have like 24 hours from now to decide which class I'm going to play. But that's the blue Mind Mage. They have water powers, psychic powers, and control, that tornado. And I'm sure there's going to be other control spells in there as well. Another class that's on my maybe list is the Necromancer. This one is, well, I mean, you know what a Necromancer is. They summon minions, undead minions. But what's going to make this Necromancer interesting is they have a mechanic that it sounds like they play with life and death. So the more that you sacrifice, the stronger you get in essence. So you're going to have to be constantly balancing that low life while not dying type of gameplay. So I think this will be more of a high stakes class. Could definitely be a lot of fun though, and hopefully pump out more damage since it is a little bit more difficult to play. Again, pure speculation on that, but Necromancer is second on my maybe list. Next up, we have the Geomancer. This is the red magic class. This is kind of your melee brawler. I envision this as the tank type of class, basically. He is going to have stone and earth abilities. He'll have different melee damaging abilities, and I read a little bit on it, and it seemed like there was something to do with shields or something to just made me really kind of think of him as the tank in the game, basically. Last but not least, and this is the third character on my maybe list, this is the green magic deck. This was my favorite deck to play back in middle school when I played Magic the Gathering. I liked summoning in those giant forest creatures. They just seemed so awesome. This class is called the Beast Caller. This one you will be summoning different companions and creatures as well as giving out buffs. So I think that the Beast Caller will be nice to have around in groups for the buffs, depending on what the buffs really are. And, I'm sure there's other cards that we'll be able to use to kind of distribute buffs and, all of that. But those are going to be the 5 classes in Magic Legends. Keep in mind, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, your class does matter, but eventually you're going to be able to switch to whatever class you want to on the fly while maintaining your deck and artifact setup. So really at the end of the day, it's kind of what do you want to use to start and then go from there. For me, I'm still undecided. They all sound pretty freaking sweet. In this moment right now of recording, I'm kind of leaning the Mind Mage. I keep having flashbacks to that tornado I saw on the dev stream. Looked pretty cool. Anyway, let me know down in the comments, what class are you going to pick on day one? Which one are you going to start out with? Do you have any more insight into the classes that I maybe missed in the video? This is pretty much everything I've read and know about that I wanted to share with you. Again, I haven't done a lot of research on the game because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But I do plan to be pumping out videos as we start into the open beta and as we progress during the development cycle of Magic Legends. That's going to wrap it up for this Magic Legends video class overview. I appreciate you all and your support. It means the absolute world to me. If you enjoy this video and all the content on the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell to get notified when I post new videos. I also do stream here on the YouTube channel as well, primarily on Fridays and Saturdays. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel and check the upcoming streams playlist. I do update it weekly. You can bookmark it, set reminders for each stream if you want to so you can get notified. Or consider checking out one of our social media platforms as well. We do have a Twitter as well as a small but growing Discord community. We'd love to have you join us. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.